So in 2008, a young woman, which it's not going again. Oh, wait, I'm going to turn it on. Okay, they didn't even notice. Okay, so a young Australian woman named Hayley Bartholomew. She just found that she wasn't really enjoying life. And, she had a husband that she loved. She had a couple of kids that she loved. But she just felt this kind of emptiness. And so she went to a nun who gave her the advice to spend time each day reflecting on something for which she was grateful. Well, what this started for Hayley was she decided to take a picture every day of something that she was grateful for. And so this is what became 365grateful.com. And she said it just changed her life, as every day she looked for what it was that she was going to take this picture of. And a big part of that changing her life was that she began to notice things that she otherwise would have missed along the journey had she not been looking for things to be grateful for. And she said, taking one photo of something every day that I was really grateful for reprogrammed my brain. And I just want you to hear that, because this is going to come in a little bit later. Reprogrammed my brain. Seeing and celebrating the good in my life affected not only the way I felt spiritually and physically, but it improved my relationships with others too. So again, if you get an opportunity, go to 365grateful.com and hear some of the stories on that. The title of today's talk is Attitude of Gratitude. It's not just a platitude. So on Tuesday, Wednesday, the girls, Michelle and Dee, are generally like, Sue, we really need a talk title, I may know what I'm going to talk about, but like to come up with a talk title. And I said, well, it's going to be like Attitude of Gratitude. And Michelle just says, Attitude of Gratitude, it's not just a platitude or something like that. And we're like, that's great. And then we're all like, so, I could feel like what platitude meant, but I needed to know what it meant. And so Michelle looked it up. And I said, oh my gosh, that's the title. Attitude of Gratitude is not just a platitude, because a platitude is something that just falls flat. It's been something that has been used so much that it's the rote thing where it doesn't mean anything anymore. And I want to tell y'all that Attitude of Gratitude is not a platitude, that it is one of the most powerful things that we can move into in our lives, is really moving into gratitude and appreciation. A couple of quotes from Gerald Good. If you want to turn your life around, try thankfulness. It will change your life mightily. And the Buddha, let us rise up and be thankful, for if we didn't learn a lot today, at least we learned a little. And if we didn't learn a little, at least we didn't get sick. And if we got sick, at least we didn't die. Let us all be thankful. And I love that, because it reminded me of a friend of mine was saying that, there were days when she just had a hard time of thinking of anything to appreciate and be grateful for. And then a friend of hers said, well, did you get up and brush your teeth this morning? And she said, yes. Did you put clothes on this morning? Yes. And so it's the reality that there is always, always, always something that we can be grateful for. Always, always, always something to appreciate. So I want to talk about the idea of appreciation. And I want to talk to it in reference to Abraham Esther Hicks. When I talk about Abraham on Sundays, I'm not usually talking, very rarely am I talking about Abraham from the Bible. I'm talking about Abraham Hicks. How many of us are familiar with any of the Abraham Hicks material? It's phenomenal stuff. And so she says that appreciation is the purest vibration on the planet today, so let it flow. And so I was listening to a YouTube of what Abraham was saying about appreciation. And what they said is that appreciation is the absence of resistance. It's the absence of fear and worry and doubt, self-denial, hatred, anger. And it is the absence of everything that feels bad in the presence of everything that feels good. So appreciation is that which feels so good. And the way that they said to really move into appreciation, so here's what I'm going to say here real quick. We talk about hope and we talk about faith. And in Unity, I've heard people just dismiss the idea of hope, and I think hope is fundamental to our existence. We start with hope, and then from hope we move into faith. And I think it's the same with gratitude and appreciation. That gratitude is the practice whereby we really move into the experience of appreciation. And so she said, think of someone that you love so much, where that love is just so ginormous. It might be your partner, it might be your children, might be your animals, it might be going out in nature, it might be something that you just love doing. And allow yourself to move into that, because that is appreciation. And that appreciation and love are identical things. When we're in appreciation, that is that vibrations, that energy, that essence of love. And I also love because Abraham talks about the upstream and downstream experience. And so for those of you who don't know, the upstream experience is where I'm moving against the flow of things. I'm resisting. I'm in fear. I'm trying to manipulate things. I'm pushing. Where the downstream experience is where I'm letting go and letting God. I'm kind of getting in my boat, and I'm just going to let it float downstream. And that when we're in appreciation, that is how we can turn and move into that downstream experience by moving into appreciation. And it really is the vibrational frequency with who we really are, because we are love. And so when we're in that experience, that feeling of appreciation, we are literally vibrating the energy of love. And that's part of what is important for us to do and to be here. Last week, we talked about the power of love. And we have been talking about the 5 guiding principles of unity. God is, I am, I ask, I pray, I act. And that it's not enough for us to know the truth. We must now take action. Live the truth that we know. So we talked about love. If you didn't get to listen to that, you can listen to it on unityofspringfield.org, or you can get a tape or a DVD in the bookstore, because we talked about what I think is one of the most powerful definitions of love, and that's Charles Fillmore, our co-founder's definition. And it called us in big ways. So I said, but let's take this like a step at a time. And so last week was about random acts of kindness. How many of us took our cards and went out and did random acts of kindness? Yes. And how did it feel? How did it feel? Yeah, it felt really good, didn't it? And couldn't you even imagine, for the people who you were doing these random acts of kindness for, didn't you kind of get excited for what they were going to experience, what they were going to feel? And it's, really this is all about moving into that expanded energy. We talk about when we're constantly watching the news, and when we're talking about things that are wrong, and when we're in fear, that we're in a constricted energy. I'm all about staying informed, but we're in constricted energy when we're so negative. And that when we move into appreciation, and there's always something to be grateful for, there's always a way to move into appreciation, that's the expanded energy. And in that expanded energy, the goodness of God, which is always present, is able to flow more freely. And we start seeing things that were always there, but that we couldn't see before because we were so stuck in our constricted energy. So we see how that works, right? So it's so important for us to use this practice of gratitude to move into appreciation. Now, gratitude has a literal physical effect on our body. Shar Avant Stover in The Way of the Happy Woman said, gratitude is one of the most medicinal emotions we can feel. It elevates our moods and fills us with joy. And I'm going to take it a little bit further than the serotonin and the dopamine, and we know about that. This is some friends of mine, Bill and Cher Holton, and they have this website called the Global Center for Spiritual Awakening.com. Fantastic site to go to if you want to check out some more really great new thought stuff. So they have a research thing on there. I can't think of my word. Anyway, from Harvard, health publications from Harvard Medical School. And so researchers found that when we express gratitude, our parasympathetic nervous system is triggered. And the parasympathetic nervous system is the one that calls us to relax. It's opposite of the fight and flight. Well, this pattern, and hear this, when repeated, has a protective effect on the heart. Electromagnetic heart patterns become more ordered as a direct response to our gratefulness. Now, you can also go to heartmath.com and learn about the coherence of the heart. And the heart has a brain, and they're finding that, the brain of the heart is even more powerful in many ways than our actual brain. So it's something that we repeat. And that's why I talk about having a spiritual practice. Because here's the thing, you guys, when life is going good, it's just so easy to get up in the morning and get into your day and stay busy and do all the things you're doing and not take time for a spiritual practice. But the thing about it is that when life is going great, that is like probably the most important time to be building that foundation. We talked about deepening our roots and spreading our roots, and gratitude, when we repeat this over and over, is something that will help to strengthen that foundation for when life happens. Anybody ever have life just happen? Yeah, we do. And so this helps us to maneuver through those times. But not only that, there's compelling evidence from many neurobiological researchers that an attitude of gratitude reduces the risk of coronary artery disease and hypertension. Now, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. That's a big deal, isn't it? That's a big deal. So feeling gratitude on a regular basis literally helps our bodies at a cellular level. Now, in addition to what it does for our bodies, what it does for our emotions, gratitude is really such an incredible, direct experience of God. Because when we're in gratitude, we are opening ourselves up to a lot of times seeing things that, first of all, we never even thought were present. We didn't even realize we're present. It's easy when you first start your gratitude journal, like you sit down at night and you write down your gratitudes. It's like, oh, this is going to be so easy, and do it the next night and the next night. And about 2 weeks later, you're like, oh, what do I write? And so the beautiful thing is, because we start looking for things to be grateful for, we start seeing things that are outside the realm of, quote unquote, the natural world. We start seeing the miracles that are everywhere. And we start becoming thankful for experiences that we're having. We start becoming thankful for how things just all of a sudden showed up in our life. And this is a direct connection and experience of the divine when we are in that place of recognizing what is happening all the time around us that we just haven't really been totally present to see. Now, expressing gratitude, and please hear this, does not say that everything in our life is fine, or that we are resigning ourselves to our fate, whatever that means. But it strengthens our resolve to live a more peaceful, harmonious, love-filled, present moment-filled life when we choose the practice of gratitude. I love that little slide there. Have an attitude of gratitude. Now, two psychologists from the University of Miami have done a lot of research on gratitude. There's a lot of research out there on gratitude. But in one study, they asked all the participants to write for the week. Actually, it was for a 10-week period. And the first group, they asked to write what they were grateful for, the experiences and what they were grateful for. The second group, they had them write what bothered them, the things that agitated them or irritated them. And the third group, they just asked them to write, neither positive or negative, just write whatever came up. After the 10 weeks, those who wrote about gratitude were more optimistic and felt better about their lives. They also exercised more, had fewer visits to the doctor, where am I? and fewer visits than those who focused on aggravations. And the reality, you guys, is this stuff. I always think, why not? Why would you not want to move deeper into gratitude in your life? Because the effects can only be positive. The effects can only be good for us. I mean, there's nothing negative about gratitude and about appreciation. So why not move deeper into that? So I'm going to share with you some ways that you could move into gratitude. One is set an intention of expressing thanks to another person at least once every day. And here's the thing about this, and we're going to talk about being present, but it's easy for us to go through our day, maybe go through a checkout, or maybe go, and so we say thanks. But sometimes I think, are we really present in that moment? Are we fully present in there, or are we grabbing a bag and saying thank you, and heading out? And how wonderful to be so intentional about it that you make it a point to be present, or you find someone to go and say thank you. But it goes beyond just thank you. You tell the person what it is about them that you appreciate. You move beyond that. And even if somebody's waiting on you, thank you so much for your patience with us. Thank you. Just something more than just a thank you. Send a letter or email to an old friend you have lost touch with and include a happy memory of why you are grateful for their friendship, or even do this for current relationships. Would be nice. Wouldn't it be cool just to get something in the mail to say thank you for who you are, and this is a memory I have. Take a moment to be fully present to your surroundings and breathe in the beauty of where you are. No matter where you are, find something there that is beautiful, amazing, or special. The real gift of gratitude is that the more grateful you are, the more present you become. And I'm going to tell you, this is one of the greatest gifts of moving into gratitude as a practice, because we have to become more present. Because now we're searching. Now, at the end of the day, we want to be able to write down our gratitudes. And so now we're looking for what it is that we're grateful for. And so this really brings us into the present moment. And you know what the most important moment of your life is? Now, this present moment is the most important moment. Love and appreciate yourself exactly the way you are. Big one. Love yourself and be grateful to yourself. Appreciate yourself, your life and your body. And, this is huge for us. Create a list of all the people you are grateful for and at least 3 reasons why for each one. And then I would say share those reasons with them. Leave thank you notes. I think this is just creative. Leave thank you notes with your tip at restaurants. Identifying at least one specific thing. I had somebody in between services say, I have something to share with you about gratitude and how it worked. And I said, okay. So he was sharing with me that he was in, I think, a veterans hospital, and the meals were veterans hospital meals, and so he started, and this person said, let me know of anything that's wrong with your meal. Well, what he started doing is he started writing thank you notes to the cooks and telling them how good it was. And he said, seriously, every meal that I got was better than the last. And he said, and the person in the room with me complained all the time, and his meals never got better. And I was grateful that he shared that with me, because that's it's true. It's real. Create a collage filled with words and pictures. Those of us who like artistic expression, it's a great thing to do. When someone irritates you, take a deep breath and focus on a positive trait about that person, then send them the energy of gratitude and love. That's easy, isn't it? So I'm going to tell you, in my humanness, sometimes I can't do it in the moment, because if something's got me, and I am just searching for my way back to center, and I may do that when I leave, and then think of something positive. But that's the point, is that we want to move from that irritation and that negativity into a more positive expression. And then, of course, the gratitude journal. That is such an incredibly powerful thing when we are writing down what it is that we're grateful for. And I promise you, here's the thing about it. And go back through your day, because you will find that you have missed things along the way of your day. And I have had that happen so many times when I've gotten back to my gratitude journal and just going, oh my gosh, I would have totally not received the blessing had I not taken the time at night to go back through my day and appreciate. So don't you just want to receive all the blessings that are there for you? Yes, that's a big yes. Some quotes to close. Well, I love this. This was just a way you could do the I am grateful for and write things out. It is not joy that makes us grateful. It is gratitude that makes us joyful. And the reason this quote is so important is because we have this tendency to look at our lives and say, you know what? When I get that promotion, when I lose this weight, when I'm able to buy this house, when I have the relationship that I'm looking for, I'll be happy. And the reality is, if you're not happy now, guys, you're not going to be happy there. And when we move into gratitude and appreciation, this is what brings us the joy and makes us happy. And you know what? All these things will be added unto you. And that's truth. A moment of gratitude makes a difference in your attitude. And I love this. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Psalms 118:24. So today, your homework, it's really easy, is to live gratitude and to focus on the good. Because no matter what is happening in our personal lives, what is happening in the world around us, life is good. And life becomes better when we are willing to do the work that is ours to do to refocus our energy. So this week, I'm just going to encourage you to go out and just say thank you, 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 a gazillion times, like more than you can even imagine, and really move deeply into gratitude. And by moving into gratitude, you are going to be filled with appreciation. And when you're filled with appreciation, you're filled with love. And again, love is what is going to change our world. Love is what is changing our world right now. Love is what is changing our world right now. So I just want to say thank you for being a part of this journey here at Unity of Springfield. Thank you for loving what these teachings are about and making individual choices to bring forth that truth in a more brilliant and a magnificent way in your own life, however that shows up. It may be through just being the best mom that you can be, or the best neighbor that you can be, or the best crocheter that you can be, or it can be through anything. But I just thank you for being a part of what I know is changing this world, and that is love. Namaste. Namaste.